So we conceived of this idea last year, and we actually applied for a grant through that was being offered by Biogen Corporation. It's called Ignite the STEM, and they were offering grants for innovative classroom projects. And we had this idea that we wanted to do kind of an indoor aquaponics project. And so what we did is we applied for the grant. We were awarded the grant. It's about a $5,000 grant. It enabled us to purchase this 400-gallon fish farm. And it's a kind of a self-contained enclosed system. The way it works is this holds about 400 gallons of water. We're raising tilapia, so they're freshwater fish. These are called blue tilapia, and they're food grade. So when we obtained these fish, they were called fingerlings. They're about 2 inches in size. That was back in early November, and we put them into the water. The way the system works is we have a siphon pump here that actually helps to clean the system. So it helps to. This is sort of a feature that you don't often see in a lot of fish tanks. And what it does is it efficiently pumps solid waste out of the system. And the solid waste settles out. This is called a clarifier, where the solid waste settles out. The cleaner water goes through this little filter here. This is called a biofilter. And what it is, it contains beads that actually provide a growing surface for bacteria. So the bacteria that grow on the beads, they help to remove ammonia, which is a chemical that can build up over time in water, and it can be toxic to the fish. The bacteria convert the ammonia to a harmless chemical, and then the cleaner water goes back into the system. So in this sense, we sort of have a two-stage cleaning system. Solids get separated here, chemicals get filtered out through here, and then the cleaner water goes back into the tank. We've added a few pieces. We added a light that's on a timer. The purpose of the light is the fish will eat during a light cycle. And so the fish have light for 18 hours out of the day. And then the timer goes off at 12 a.m. It turns off. And then they have a little peace and quiet for about 6 hours. It comes back on. We have a couple of automatic feeders that are designed to dispense food at certain intervals. We feed the fish about 4 times a day. This is to help ensure that they keep eating, but you don't try to overfeed them all at once. It spreads out their food. We have a few heaters that are submersible heaters at one end. This is just to help them keep the water at about 80 to 85 degrees. And the tilapia prefer that. It helps to boost their metabolism. We have, and there's an air pump here that feeds oxygen to the bacteria. It also helps to oxygenate the water, so that's also another important component. We want to make sure that the fish receive enough oxygen. So we expect that it takes tilapia about 6 to 7 months to grow from basically this size to full size. They'll be about maybe 12 to 14 inches long when they reach full size. They're about almost halfway there. They're about probably 4 to 6 inches right now. And one of the things that we do is we weigh the fish every week. We take some fish out, we weigh them, and we kind of estimate the overall crop size. And that allows us to adjust their feed. We have to continue. In order to get the fish to grow, we have to feed them more and more food. So the students do that on a weekly basis. The students also do frequent water tester. So we use a freshwater aquaculture kit. This allows us to test for different parameters. We can test for pH. We can test for the level of different chemicals in the system, just to make sure that everything's optimal. If we need, and it also, this, it lets the students know which factors they need to adjust in order to get, if things start to go one way or the other, they can add other chemicals to bring things in range. There's one other component. I don't know if you had a chance to see, we have a poster out by the main office, and we created this poster. It was for the Biogen STEM. It was for the Massachusetts STEM conference. This is back in November. But the second component that we're in the process of designing is called aquaponics, where you grow plants without soil. And we're doing this in conjunction with the robotics and engineering department, as well as building trades, and probably culinary down the line. So the way the aquaponics is going to work is it's essentially going to replace these two components, which require daily maintenance. And the aquaponics is going to consist of a grow bed. So the grow bed is going to be in kind of a platform that is going to take the water from the fish farm. It's going to filter through these special beads. And the beads essentially are going to they replace soil. The beads are very porous, and they allow bacteria to kind of colonize. So the bacteria will help to filter out any waste from the system. The plants will also grow from the fish waste, and we expect to raise like plants like arugula, maybe other kinds of plants that lend themselves to growing in like a kind of a bead-like surface. Then, as the water passes through, you'll get oxygenated. You'll go into a kind of a bottom tank to allow more solids to settle out, and then the clean water will go back into the system. We expect this to actually reduce the labor required, because we won't have to be. This requires almost daily cleaning, but the grow bed will actually kind of replace that cleaning component and allow us to grow plants, the same edible plants.
Right. When will the fish be full grown?
We expect sometime towards the end of May, early June. In which case we'll harvest most of them, and we'll let culinary kind of decide what they want to, how they want to prepare them.
It won't get too congested in there, will it, as they grow?
Well, see, so we kept our numbers to 100. Each full-grown fish requires about 4 gallons of water. So 400 gallons has a capacity of about 100 fish. So this is relatively small by aquaculture. This is about 90 fish right now. And Daniel's our vocational student. He can answer a lot of the other questions.
So you're mentioning that there's some automatic feeders in there, but how often are the students actually the ones who are having to feed the fish?
So mainly every class now is going to be feeding them by hand because of how big they're getting, and they're going to be requiring about 2,000 grams. The amount's been going up. So 2,000 kilograms just about of food that we have to feed them every day, so it's a big task.
Yeah, and what about weekends and school breaks?
Weekends, Mr. Russo will have to drive in and then feed them.
Yeah.
So it's a big issue, and we need to find out.
One of the things that the aquaponics component is hopefully will be funded by the Medford Education Foundation, which is a new foundation created for helping to fund innovative classroom projects. We applied for a grant with them as well. One of the components of that aquaponics system that robotics is designing for us is also an automatic feeder. So they can also use some of those funds to design a larger capacity feeder, essentially to make it rain food at preset times.
Wow.
And that will make it much more kind of self-sustaining. So we can let it kind of set it up for the weekend, set up a larger hopper, and then we come back on Monday and just fill it up again.
And so what are these two things right here?
These are the automatic fish feeders that we have currently. And they're not enough to feed for the entire day because obviously they're getting so big, but we're going to have to find new feeders in order to keep up with all the fish.
And so in terms of like setting up like the light and the feeders and the pump, were you guys involved in setting all of that up?
Yeah, mainly because we had to build this right out of the package, so, and the directions were kind of in a different language too, so it was a little bit difficult figuring everything out, but we went on YouTube and then figured how to assemble this whole thing, so it's not. I think Chinese, I'm not sure, to be honest, so some foreign language.
So this was just like right at the beginning of the school year?
Yeah.
You just set this entire...
So, yeah, we had to wait like 2 months for the food to arrive, so we did a lot of water testing, time, and figured everything out.
It seems like something you put a lot of time and energy into. Have you enjoyed it?
I really have. It's a good experience, you know. I mean, just imagine putting that on a resume, like you can operate a 400-gallon aquarium by yourself. That's pretty good. So
yeah. What have you learned? I mean, that you feel like maybe you couldn't have learned just without the hands-on.
So I've learned 9 chemical experiments, including pH and ammonia and all that. And to be honest, I don't think anybody would really learn this until like college because that's when you choose what you want to do. But I got a head start and I figured out how to do all the chemical testing, and it's really great because I'm already out.
If the culinary students end up cooking these guys, will you be the first one to eat them?
Possibly. I still don't know when they're gonna serve the fish. I mean, they might be in the cap, but we still have to work that out. But probably.
Right. I mean, it's a kind of cool thing how it's gonna like a bunch of different programs throughout the school.
It's really great. And like childhood development, those guys come up sometimes to see the fish and all that. So it's all intertwined with everybody else. So it's a great project.
Trying to think whatever other question I have. And so you feel like all of your classmates kind of have a good grasp on like how this is working, like really understand.
Yeah, like with our poster that we have somewhere around here, it explains basically what our mission is and how this whole entire system works, and it's really beneficial to other students who don't know much about aquaponics, you know. It like gives them more knowledge about how this new system works, and it's good because it's what